Hello and welcome to another episode of Raine Plays. Today I'm going to be rebuilding Umbrage Manor, but real quick here, I was told to go into my settings in Origin and select 64-bit to get the screen back, and I went in there and did it, and it's already at 64-bit. It was already there. So I did the restart on the computer, and there's my home, and there's my packs. Nothing. I don't know what the deal is, but anyway, this is Umbrage Manor. I did not do a before walkthrough. Hopefully you all know what this house looks like. My least favorite in the game. Actually, I think it's my second least. We still have one more neighborhood to go through, and that was the worst of all the neighborhoods, I think, in Willow Creek. My opinion. I'm just saying my feelings on it. I'm not saying it's popular opinion. I redid this 2 times. I went through my home plan books again. I did get inspired. I am not unhappy with the outcome. But the first 2 tries, I'm like, I've done this before. And then this one here, I felt like I was doing something so unique and different. And it turned out to be another house I think I've done before. It looks a little different, but the inside floor plan is about the same. And if I recall correctly, I had ordered those home plan books so that I could become better at floor plans. That's something that I was sorely lacking in any skill at. And I do think it helped. It helps to look at that. Lil Simsy uses an online website, and I've been there and I like it. I would highly recommend that you try it too if you're into building sim houses. It's very helpful. The problem I have with it is I cannot do exact replica. It just doesn't work for me. So what I do is I look at the picture, I study the front and the back of the house, and then I just, for a long time, stare at the floor plan and hope that when I go into building that I'm doing it right. And I think, like I said, I think I'm getting there because I'm starting to understand the best way to position rooms. Which sounds odd, I know, but I'm not the type who likes boxed in, closed off, every room has 4 walls. I never really cared for that, at least in this game. I prefer an open floor plan for playthrough. And maybe I'm stuck on that, I don't know, but that's basically how I build. I try to use the least amount of walls as I can, and that may have been where I was starting to get disappointed in my work. So I have to find a happy medium. Yes, you need walls, but not a ton of walls, something like that. So I hope it's working out, and I hope that what I'm doing here is enjoyable enough to keep watching. I don't know. I suppose I would have to go by the amount of likes to dislikes, which I'm not really getting yet. I did get 1 dislike once. I haven't gone back and looked at any of my old videos or anything like that, or what are they called, stats. It's not even worth it to look at. Regardless, I'm going to continue doing this in the new year. I just want to improve, and I want to be able to see for myself that I am improving my skills. Another example would be the new platforms. I haven't bought Snowy Escape yet, but I do have to go into Origin to do that, as you could plainly tell at the beginning of this video. I have no way of doing that. Even using the digital deluxe edition of The Sims 4 and having it auto set on 64-bit, because this is a brand new computer. I can order packs through Origin, and I believe it was on sale last week. Doesn't really matter. I'm just not that interested in it yet. And at the moment, especially with this build here, I don't know if you will notice it or not, but I tried very, very hard to avoid using too many packs. Now, I know I did use a few, but I'm pretty sure a majority of the items in this house are base game. And it shows. It is a very lackluster interior. But as I mentioned earlier, I'm pleased with the outcome of this house. I would not mind using this house, but I would definitely mind using the characters that I created for this house. There was a family in here at the start. I don't even remember their names, but it looked like 3 guys and a girl. I just don't remember. And I switched that around. So this is the after tour, and like I said, I like what I see, but you might be able to notice that it looks a little familiar. Even the roofing, though, I was surprised. I'm actually getting a little bit better at roofing. Well, gosh, that isn't saying much. Compared to where I was and where I am now, I see a major improvement. And I know a lot of people would be like, yeah, it looks like an average roof. But hey, that for me is progress, so I'm happy with it. I did not go haywire on the landscaping this time. I did give them some fruit trees on this side for privacy. And she has some vegetable and herb on the inside of the yard there for cooking. But I didn't give these guys any skills at all, and I was so afraid that they were going to burn down my house. It's the first time I've ever done this. But he went out and used the barbecue grill there. Now I put it on the front porch because the kitchen is right there along this wall here. So I set the barbecue there. I do it strategically. Maybe I shouldn't, but I always put the barbecue near the kitchen entrance or exit so that they don't just plunk it down on a table and walk away, which they do anyway. But at least it's close enough to the kitchen where I can move it. Now, another thing I learned here as well, because as I said, I have all of the new packs, but I haven't played any of them. I'm just using their items. And I gave them a laundry room because it's a family, a mom, a dad, a teenage son, and a elementary age daughter. So I gave them a laundry room, and I put a laundry basket in the laundry room, but I did not know, apparently you need one in every single room, because there were, I believe, 8 piles of dirty clothes all over this house in just one 24-hour period. I waited until the daylight came so that I could do the walkthrough for you. And I had to go through and throw away 8 piles of dirty clothes. They were everywhere. They were in the bathroom. They were in all of the bedrooms. And I think I found 2 of them. Don't ask me why, but I found 2 dirty clothes piles in the yard. I don't know. They don't have a pool or a pond. I don't know why they were there. So that was the living room, and this I gave to the little girl. It's just, I suppose if someone wanted to download and use this, they could turn this into a dining room, another bedroom maybe, grandma's, little space. I gave it to the little girl. The color scheme is very neutral, so again, I tend to do that thinking someone might want to download it and then they can do whatever they want with it. And then my second reasoning is for video appeal. But in the new year, I have so many plans, so many mindset changes after my little hiatus there back in November, December. I'm not going to do things the way I'm normally doing them. I'm just going to do what I want to do, and I'm not going to have anybody in mind, so that my mind is free to do as I please and not as I should be doing or as I think I should be doing. So that was the living room, kitchen, and a little nook area. And then we're going to go upstairs to the bedrooms. I have 3 with 2 bathrooms, I believe. Hallway bathroom for everybody. And then the parents get their own ensuite. I don't know what happened to the ceiling here with all those lights there. There's only one, I believe there's a pod here and a pod at the end of the hall. And yet there are circles of light all over the place. And then I noticed these windows too. I'm sorry I kept these in the video, but they're wide open at the top. I never noticed that before. I don't know why it did that. But that would be pretty drafty. Yeah, see, so there's a pod light there, and then there's a pod light near the stairs, but there are so many circles of light on the floor, I just don't know where it's coming from. This is a little girl's room, as you can obviously tell. I gave her the backyard. I don't really think about that when I'm designing for a sim, but if it were realistic, I doubt I would give the kid the back room. I think I would put her at the street and give the parents the most privacy, since they need the most privacy. That was the little girl's room. This is the teenage boy's room. Very, like I said, generic and bland, but I was deliberate. I tried to go with as many base game items as I could to keep costs down. But again, the house has turned out to be too big. I keep making big houses. But that's one of the things I'm going to try and work on in the new year. Oh, and speaking of New Year, Happy New Year to everybody. This is New Year's Eve that I'm recording this, but you'll be seeing it on New Year's Day, my birthday. I don't celebrate my birthday anymore. I've always celebrated New Year's Day. So look at all the lights. I don't get it. I don't know why it's like that. I think those plants should have been switched. Tall one on the right, a small one on the left. I don't know. And then this is the parents' room. Again, lots of base game items. I like the plants. I figured out that plant with the black planter, I never liked it because it was too big and it kept going through all the walls. No matter how you put it, you had to really move it out into the middle of the room. There's the gap again in the window. But if you size that plant down 1, it fits nicely, and it doesn't really, you can push it closer to the wall and it doesn't go through. I always ended up using that one like on a patio or a second floor balcony so that it had enough space to expand. This is only for the adults here. I would never ever choose that, what's it called? That runner thing. You can tell I exercise a lot, right? I would never choose that one, but that was the cheapest one that they had, so I put that down. I always go with the other one. I don't know the prices, but it's so ugly and bulky. But I had to put something there for them to do. So now we're going to take a tour of the outside, I believe, and then that should be the end of it. I'm not unhappy with the neutral colors. I just wouldn't choose these if I were going to play in this house with my Sims. I would not do it. It would be vibrant everything. Maybe a little on the overkill side, but that's how I am, and that's what you're going to be seeing more of in the coming year. And speaking of the coming year, I sure hope it's better than 2020 was. It's such a fluke, wasn't it? I think, even subconsciously, a lot of us were anticipating something big because it was a new decade, and you always anticipate bigger and better. So to have it turn out so gosh awful for an entire year, It's just mind-boggling in some respects. So we can only hope that it's uphill from here. Landscaping. Again, I used base game. I didn't even go into the debug thing. I used all base game, and I tried not to go cuckoo, but I did want to line this side of the house because it's very nondescript, boring. There aren't even that many windows, and I like doing the landscaping. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that. This is probably the one thing that I'm kind of good at when it comes to building, is the landscaping part. But that's a self-brag. Somebody out there might be going, really? You think you're good, huh? But again, I'm pleased with the outcome of this house. I enjoyed it. I thought it was much better than I had gone into it thinking it would turn out. Now you'll notice real quick I changed the Goth's coloring so it wasn't so stark and dark and depressing. But that's all I did, and that's all I'm going to do. So there's just one more empty lot here, and then we move on to the last neighborhood. I hope you enjoyed this. I thank you so much for watching too. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.